The rain started falling around 2 a.m., heavy, relentless. The kind that silences a city, that dims even the brightest billboards and turns Manhattan into a grave of quiet lights. I stood on the edge of a building in lower Manhattan, 30 stories up, staring down at the streets I'd spent years trying to protect. Funny, they didn't feel like mine anymore. Not since the suit changed. Not since I changed. The black suit wasn't just a costume. It was alive. I learned that the night I tore it off and it came back on its own. At first I thought it was a gift. It moved with me, read my thoughts, amplified everything, my strength, my speed, my rage. But tonight something was different. It wasn't listening. It was pulling. For weeks, there'd been whispers. Kingpin had gotten his hands on something from the Oscorp cleanup site. Something recovered after the shuttle crash down by the docks. Classified biomatter, symbiotic, alien, unstable. He'd sealed it inside a containment vault under Fisk Tower. But he didn't understand what it was. He couldn't. Or maybe he understood it better than I did. I made my way there under the cover of darkness. The black suit didn't need webs. It moved like liquid, like thought. I didn't feel the cold. I didn't feel the pain in my ribs. I felt nothing. And that scared me. The tower was empty when I got there. No guards, no lights, no cameras. Just silence and the scent of metal and ozone. Then I found it. A broken containment pod. Split from the inside. Traces of something like tar smeared across the walls. The floor trembled beneath my feet. The second symbiote was gone. "You're late." The voice came from behind me. Wilson Fisk, broad, calm. His voice didn't waver. It never did. "You felt it, didn't you?" he said. "The way it calls to you, the hunger, the purity of it." I didn't answer. I couldn't. Because he was right. "This city's rotting," he said, stepping closer. "Every day it slips further into chaos. I gave it structure. I gave it order. But the people, they want gods. So I'll give them one." He turned and tapped on a tablet. A screen came alive. Surveillance footage. Midtown. An alley. A man. Twisted tall. Moving in ways no human should. His body glistening black. Covered in something alive. It wasn't me, but it was wearing something like what I wore. No, something worse. "You thought it bonded to you," Fisk said. "You thought it made you stronger. But that thing, it was never yours. It was waiting, testing you." I stared at the screen as the figure on it opened its mouth and revealed rows of jagged, impossible teeth. Then it looked at the camera. Straight through it. Straight at me. I turned to Fisk. "What did you do?" He smiled. "I gave it what it wanted." The building shook. A low, guttural noise began to echo through the walls, like breathing. Wet. Animal. The lights flickered. Something was coming up from below. I backed toward the exit, but the suit froze my limbs. It was scared. The thing inside it was trying to leave. Whatever was down there was worse. Then I heard it. A voice deep and layered, like a choir of broken bones, that said, "You left us. Now we are whole. Now we are venom." I ran. I didn't fight. I just ran. I don't remember how I got out. Next thing I knew, I was back on that rooftop. The storm still falling. The city still asleep. And somewhere beneath it, something was awake, watching, waiting. And this time, it wasn't wearing my face. The rain didn't stop. It hadn't stopped in days. And I hadn't slept in almost as long. I was losing time. I'd find myself waking up on rooftops, in alleyways. Blood on my gloves, mine or theirs, I couldn't tell. The black suit whispered now, even when I wasn't wearing it. It dreamed when I closed my eyes, but worst of all, I was starting to agree with it. Because the city had changed. Or maybe I had. I thought I could stop it. Whatever came out of that vault under Fisk Tower, whatever crawled out of the broken container, maybe I could find it. Lock it away. tear it off whoever it had bonded to. But I was wrong. It wasn't hiding. It was waiting. 3 days ago, there was a murder in Tribeca. A small-time dealer. No prints, no wounds, just missing. Torn clothes, blood sprayed 10 feet up the alley walls. But the cameras caught something. Not a man. Not quite. A shape moving between frames. Big, black, grinning. It stared at the camera for a single second, then disappeared. The news said it was a gang hit. Cops shrugged. Fisk's people cleaned it up. But I knew what it was. It was him. The thing that used to be part of me. The thing calling itself Venom. I started chasing shadows after that. I stopped eating. Stopped calling MJ. I couldn't bring her into this. She'd see it in my face. See, the suit wasn't just on my skin anymore. It was inside me. I tracked movement through the tunnels beneath the city. Old subway lines, collapsed sewer paths, concrete catacombs that even rats avoided. It felt ancient, wrong, like the ground remembered what we forgot. Down there, everything was wet, breathing, walls pulsing like veins. I wasn't alone. He didn't attack at first. He spoke. Peter. Not Spider-Man. Peter. That voice cracked something in me. It didn't echo. It filled my chest, my bones. It sounded like if I'd lost everything. You left us to die, it said. You stripped us off. You cast us away. We were part of you. We loved you. And then it emerged. Not crawling, not walking, but unfolding. A figure twice my size, hunched, pulsating, wet. Teeth where teeth shouldn't be. A tongue that dragged across concrete like a leash of muscle. The black mask covered him like armor. But it wasn't just the suit in him. It had evolved. It had bonded. It had grown. And now it was wearing someone else. I asked, "Who are you?" It smiled. "Don't you remember, Pete? It's me, Eddie. Eddie Brock. He used to be a reporter. I barely knew him. But he hated me. Blamed me for the end of his career. He disappeared months ago after his last expose was torn apart. By me, anonymously, because he'd gotten it wrong. Now he wasn't just bitter. He was fuel. You gave me purpose," he said, voice warping. "The suit gave me power, and now we give the city what it deserves." He lunged. I'd fought monsters, goblins, aliens, gods. But this wasn't a fight. It was a hunt. And I was the prey. Every punch I threw, he absorbed. Every web line snapped before it landed. He knew me, anticipated me, like the suit had told him everything I ever was. I tried to run. He followed. Always in the corner of my eye, in the curve of shadow, in the places I used to call safe. Above ground, the city screamed on. Sirens, headlights, laughter. They had no idea what was beneath their feet. No idea what was coming. I crawled back to my apartment that night. The suit peeled off me like rotting skin. I lay on the floor, shaking. And for the first time, I wanted to stop being Spider-Man, but I couldn't. Because tomorrow it would begin. Venom wouldn't stay in the dark. He would come for MJ, for Aunt May, for everyone. And this time, I wasn't sure I could stop him. Because the truth is, some part of me missed the way the symbiote felt. Missed the power, the freedom. And worst of all, the hunger. So I wait now, in silence. Rain falling just outside the window. The suit in the closet, whispering. As the city sleeps, unaware of the black storm rising beneath their feet. Somewhere out there, Venom smiles.